So you have been on the hot seat at a very challenging time in the history of the city itself. So how do you feel about it?
No, it's thrilling also. It's having its own challenges and it's having its own opportunities also because this is the time when public is actually looking forward towards government administration, non-governmental organizations, health workers, and all other people, and primarily they are performing their duty by remaining at home, and we are performing our duty by coming into our offices also, going in field also, and arranging essential supplies to the general public.
True. So what is your routine these days? Like, how much time do you spend in the office? Are you able to give some time to your family, or or your team in the office has become more of your family now?
Yeah, that's true. Now the whole city is our family. So I definitely is having less time for family, and same applies on all other officers or employees working for providing essential services or essential commodities. But normally it's a mix of working in office also, reporting to honorable administrator sir, advisor sir, and other persons, because there is daily war room meeting by honorable administrator and governor Punjab. So we all key officials are there, and we participate in that meeting. Decisions are taken over there, issues are being taken up. So that is also taking time, but it's a mix of field and office. Less time in office, more in field, so that to coordinate the things and solving the issues.
True. True. What kind of issues are the most challenging ones that you are coming across, that you wish could have, if the resources were more, you could have made a more difference in terms of tackling those issues?
I think the biggest challenge in Chandigarh is that Chandigarh is a very small geographical territory, and in this territory we are actually not self-sufficient, or we are dependent on other states and cities for our supplies. All essential supplies are actually coming either from Punjab or Haryana or Himachal or Delhi or neighboring states or neighboring areas. So that is the biggest challenge, because since I am looking after the main work of providing essential supplies in the city and keeping all the supply chains open, so I have to coordinate with different state governments also, district administrations also, and then we are ensuring that the supplies are continued or continuously coming from those areas. So that is actually a big challenge, because if someday some supplies are stuck somewhere, then we have to be on our foot and we have to resolve that. In case if we are not resolving that, then there are chances that maybe after 2 days we are not going to get the supply of that particular item.
True. We had heard recently that there were some bottlenecks regarding the truckers who got stuck on the highways, and the essential supplies were blocked. So did that have any impact on the stocks that were available in the city?
Yes, there were certain issues, and then even Ministry of Home Affairs clearly directed all the state governments also and district administrations also that any type of movement of cargo or trucks or commercial vehicles, especially the vehicles which are carrying the goods, even if they are empty, because they may be coming back after delivering the goods, but they may be going to the to fetch the essential commodities.
Yes.
So those are not to be stopped. So initially when lockdown started, for around 4-5 days there were issues, because the cargo stopped and the movement of trucks were less. Even the vehicles were stopped, because there were a lot of confusion in field also, that what is allowed and what is not allowed. But after that, things got sorted out. So now, as of now, we are having sufficient supplies, and whenever there are issues cropping up, we are solving them.
Right. So I also understand that especially in this unprecedented situation that we are facing with COVID-19, the administrators like you at the ground level, you are the people who are at the forefront of taking this challenge head on. You have policymakers above you who just like we talk about the war room meetings and who decide policies and the direction we should take. But at the ground level, you are the ones, say, deputy commissioners at the district level, and here in Chandigarh, like you are the buck stops. I should say the buck stops with you. But then again, you also have the political side of it that is active. So how is it balanced? Like how does the power structure work? Is the because otherwise the political side is they have quite a lot of say in the system, and they I would rather not say it, but also they have their own kind of
Yes,
priorities
that's
and
true,
things
that's
like
true,
that.
that's true.
So how is the situation now?
See, we are a democracy, and in democracy, public representatives are having their own roles also, and it's true that in a difficult time like this, the more responsibility is on government officials and employees, and public representatives are actually playing their own part. In Chandigarh, luckily, we are having municipal councillors as public representatives and a member of parliament as public representatives. So, being a commissioner municipal corporation, I am having good rapport with all my municipal councillors also, and we are in constant touch with our member of parliament also. So, they are actually enabling us to perform better. Because in case if our system is having certain loopholes or certain lacunas in field, they are actually giving us feedback about that, and they are helping us in planning our things. They are requesting us for ensuring better supplies in some areas which are left over. So I personally feel that in Chandigarh type of city or Chandigarh type of administrative structure, the problem of any conflict between political representatives and administrative officials, that is very less. And as of now, we all are working to fight with our common enemy, and there is no any blame game or any war of credit or any other thing. We all are performing our duties, and we are just hoping that with cooperation from all the citizens, we will be able to win over the COVID-19.
Certainly. Like so far, like you have been working more like a team towards achieving
Yes,
a
yes.
common goal. Yeah, I guess that's the way it has to be. Otherwise, it won't have much of a strategy.
That's
Won't have much
true,
of
that's true.
impact. So coming down to specific areas of administration, let's say like sewage and waste disposal. How are these being carried out in this scenario?
See, the municipal corporation is actually the one of the body of government or one of the organization or institution of the government, which is primarily performing its own responsibility in shape of providing essential services. Cleanliness, sanitation, that is my duty. Providing drinking water to all household, that is my duty. Keeping city illuminated during night, that is my duty. Keeping my parks maintained, keeping my sewerage lines open, treating my sewage disposal. That is our that is our prime duty, which we were already doing also earlier, and now also we are committed to do that. The best part is that after the lockdown and the situation which came over, my whole team is dedicated for ensuring that the supplies are proper and services are maintained properly. We are not going for any new activity right now or laying of new infrastructure or other thing. So that's why my team is now dedicatedly working on the providing these basic services. Apart from that, we have made the shifts of our team because there are chances that some of our employee got infected or something else happens. Then we are having our backup plans also. Plan B is ready, plan C is ready, so that in case if required, I can keep my 1,000 or more than 1,000 employees inside my community center or my buildings, and they can stay there, they can perform their duties, and they can still keep city live and working. So we are ready for any type of worst case scenario, and we are committed for providing our own services. Fire, we are obviously fire control and emergency services we are providing. So we are having the expertise of that, and we are using that expertise. But apart from that also, there are a lot of other duties which have been shouldered on us, and we are performing that also.
Okay, duties
Like municipal corporation now is providing home-to-home delivery of all milk products. So in morning my teams are there. They ensure that the vendors reaches households to provide milk, bread, eggs and other things. And then my teams in Mandi goes for selling vegetable and fruits through our Chandigarh Transport Undertaking CTU's buses. Then my teams ensure that ration is available in all the households. Then we ensure that the wholesalers are having proper supplies from for all branded item and other essential commodities. And those items are actually provided up to the retailers also. So we made the passes for retailers, we made the passes for wholesalers, their staff and other things. Then we regulate their functioning also.
Okay.
Then we made our sector response team. So in every sector and all villages and colonies, total 84 teams are there in field, consisting of 6 person from civil administration and 3 person from police also. So they are ensuring that in market when from 11 to 3 the essential commodities are being purchased by general public or residents. They ensure that the social distance is maintained over there. They are keeping the all provisions of hygiene and all precautions as wearing of mask, using hand sanitizers, gloves, proper upkeeping of that. So lot of other duties are actually we have been given those duties, and we are performing that very comfortably.
Yeah.
And we are actually enjoying performing that.
Yeah, in fact the results have been very good because I have been I stay in sector 8
Okay.
and except for the fact that we have to stay indoors throughout the day, otherwise it's a very things are going very even I must say even better than before
Yes.
as far as waste collection is concerned or availability of things are concerned, because people are very particular on time. They will and they ensure that they do their job, and then they go that the vegetables are available, the buses come on time, and things like that. So I think that's very commendable on your part that you have been able to put in place a system which is actually working. Unlike most of the other cities in India, where people are still struggling to get these kind of things moving. But when we talk about availability of goods, especially in shops and all, there is this phenomena of the shopkeepers tending to overcharge for certain things. Maybe create artificial shortages and then forming cartels among themselves, and then trying to increase the prices.
Get the benefit out of crisis.
Yeah, which is a very sad thing to happen, especially in a situation like this. So, what are we doing to check that, sir?
See, our buses which are coming to the sectors with vegetable and fruit, we put the red list on the gate where the fruits and vegetables are sold. So anybody who is taking higher rates than our prescribed rates, we offload them. We don't allow them to work. Even we got 2-3 complaints. We took action and we changed the vendors. So that actually worked very well. Regarding retailers, because those are the private persons selling their commodities or provisions to the residents. Our helpline number is there. It's 155304. So this was actually helpline. This is dedicated 24/7 helpline, and we control it from our municipal corporation office only. So anyone who is facing such type of problem in markets or in sectors, they give their call. They call us, and we take action against them. So there are around 4 or 5 shops. We took action against them. We even took the permission back from them, and they have been closed.
Okay.
So we are very cautious about this thing, that nobody take the benefit of this situation, and public actually gets the benefit essential on reasonable rates rather than overcharging.
Very true, sir. Sir, what would you advise? Suppose I go to a shop and I notice that the person is, he's blatantly overcharging.
Yeah.
So what should I do in that situation?
My request will be just give us a call on 155304, and I will ensure that within 2-3 minutes my sector response team reaches on that shop. We check the this thing that yes, if there is such case, and we will take action against that.
But should the customer buy that thing and take the bill, or how?
That is also one of the option available with the customer, in case if he or she wants that I will take the as bill as a proof that the concerned shopkeeper charged more. That can be also done. We don't have any problem there. But we assure you that as soon as you are going to give us a call on 155304, within 5 minutes my person will be there.
Okay, in a way, you will go more with the customer's word
Yes,
as vis-a-vis the shopkeeper.
definitely. Otherwise, why somebody will be calling to our means our toll-free number or helpline?
Right. So just one more thing, that how big a role are the NGOs playing in this particular aspect?
NGOs are actually very instrumental, and lot of social organizations they are actually performing I can say outstanding duties right now, because there are certain section of society where even if we try our best, we can't reach to each and every household, and even because they are not having the paying or purchasing power,
Yes.
so they even can't buy things also. So we can see Red Cross Chandigarh under the leadership of Deputy Commissioner is doing a tremendously good work. Daily more than 50,000 meals are being provided, cooked meal
Okay.
to the needy people.
Okay.
Then there are dry ration is provided in the EWS colonies, rehabilitation colonies, and persons who are actually not having sufficient meals or rations in their households. And a lot of NGOs and social organizations, they are contributing to government in shape of cash also in our COVID fund, which have been created under the leadership of our Governor sir. And lot of other persons are coming to us in shape of giving us or donating us personal protective equipments, masks, sanitizers, gloves, ready to eat food, and lot of other things. So they are actually, we can say we are actually working in a very symbiotic type of thing, that we all are actually ensuring that every family or every household gets daily meal and daily all essential services.
Yeah, I think notice that in Chandigarh, more or less, nobody is going hungry as such. Everybody has at
So
least.
NGOs and social organizations are actually having big credit for that, because even if we are having our own kitchens in Gurel modern jail also, then our midday meal kitchens are functioning. Still, if I say that at government level we can cook 68,000 meals per day, that will be actually very difficult. So, lot of religious bodies, social organizations, NGOs, they are participating in it, and we all are actually thankful to them that they are actually reaching up to the people who require our helping hand.
Very right, sir. So there's one question that arises out here is that how do we ensure that people don't get, say somebody is getting one square meal, there may be others who are getting like the same thing twice or thrice or even 4 times. Do we have any system, mechanism to ensure that people don't take advantage of this kind of situation?
See, greed and need is actually, I personally feel it's a personal decision or personal trait. So, as of now, the situation which we are having, not even the needy people, even well-off people also, I can definitely say that we can ensure that that they get everything what is needed, but we can't take care of their greed, or regarding this issue that somebody is getting more feed or getting more rations in their areas. Our teams are checking this thing, that nobody takes advantage of this thing. But still, there can be rare cases, or there can be some cases where somebody is taking the advantage of it. We can only appeal them that please don't use this opportunity or this crisis for fulfilling your need.
Yeah. So can we have a centralized database kind of a system that where a person who is coming, it takes his photograph is taken and it goes to a central server, and the next time a person comes, that again his photograph is snapped by a camera, and again it within a matter of seconds goes to a centralized database server, and the photograph is matched, and he is pinpointed that boss, you are again coming in the line and you won't be like entertained this time.
It's a good suggestion. Obviously, technology gives us lot of I can say lot of advantage, and this can be actually checked. I will request DC Sahab to look into it and see if it can be possible. Like we are monitoring all our vendors who are visiting households through our application. I can see it on my personal computer also, on my mobile also. Same goes with the supervisors also. So lot of technology interventions we are taking, and this is a good suggestion. We will try to work on it.
Yeah, I noticed in say in a country like Italy or in Germany also, that they are using some of this kind of a system that just to ensure that people are nobody goes hungry.
But along with that, nobody fulfills its greed also. So
Yeah,
that is a good suggestion. We'll try to.
Right. So, coming back to this COVID-19 cases, are you satisfied with the way we have been able to control it, or it could have been done better?
See, controlling COVID-19, there are 2-3 basic things which any administration or any governmental organization or even residents can also do. One was the lockdown and keeping people in their own premises. Second is maintaining social distance, and third is the certain hygienic or hygiene level issues, washing your hands, using sanitizers and other things, wear mask and other things. So we all are doing that, but it's a chain. Nobody knows that even a asymptomatic positive person can be actually roaming around in the areas and spreading this thing. So if you see even Chandigarh case also, and even throughout country also, you will see a pattern that there are even like Chandigarh is now having around 23 cases. So out of 23 cases, the contacts are actually the key persons were 4 or 5 from where the cases actually originated, and whoever came into their contact, they all got infected. So I personally feel that Chandigarh is almost doing daily screening of house to house for more than 1 lakh people.
Okay.
So this is a model where actually Director Health Services is adopting the pulse polio plan, and their teams are visiting, more than 100 teams are visiting every day, every household, and ensuring that people are properly screened. We are again and again requesting public to use Arogya Setu application and other interventions, so that the more you are aware, more you are taking precaution, more safe you are. So wherever we feel, I personally feel that Chandigarh from the day one we are under curfew with certain relaxations only for 11 to 3. So this type of model and this type of efficient system of decision making and very quick decision making, that is rare in any other city administration or any state administration. I personally
Of course, that's very true.
it's a very small geographical entity. It's a manageable entity. We are having sufficient staff available with us. We are having sufficient social organizations or NGOs available with us who are actually working in tandem with us. So I can say it's a best practice type of model
Absolutely.
which is happening here, and that's why as you have already admitted, that public is not feeling suffocated even inside their houses,
Yeah.
because at least they are getting the supplies or essentials at their doorstep, and they are not coming out and making themselves prone to COVID-19 or exposed themselves, and that's all. Otherwise also our worst case scenario plans are also ready. We are ready with that also. So I personally think that we
Chandigarh
we
as such,
will
yeah.
definitely win this war.
Yeah, we have seen that Chandigarh, in the entire country, we have the highest quality of living index, and the best kind of infrastructure is available here. We have a tertiary hospital in PGI. So and for a population of say 16 or 17 lakhs, I think this is unprecedented kind of infrastructure that is placed to cater to this kind of a situation. But looking at COVID-19, keeping in view of that, so, do you feel we have enough like ventilators or the isolation wards or these kind of things?
See, again I will go with this thing that a city of around 13-14 lakh of population, the type of infrastructure, may it be the civil infrastructure or governmental infrastructure or healthcare institution and healthcare facilities, per capita, if infrastructure count is being taken, we are well off than any city or any state of at least I can talk of India.
Yes, sir.
So we are actually fully ready for that. See, in case if the worst case scenario comes, government is actually working very nicely. Central government is because UTs are directly controlled by central government, so they are providing us a lot of personal protective equipments also, ventilators and other things are being stepped up. Lot of other things are coming. We are having a dedicated COVID hospital of 300 beds in PGI. Then 100 bed hospital is also ready in sector 48 under GM CH32, and all other quarantine facilities are also created. This is the only city which actually started with the provision that the doctors and healthcare workers, in case if they are they feel that if they are going back to home and their family members can become prone to this COVID-19 or exposure, we provided the hotel facility for them. They can stay there. Even in case if somebody has to go in isolation or quarantine, the hotel facility is there for healthcare workers and healthcare doctors also. So the way Chandigarh is dealing and the way Chandigarh is planned and the way Chandigarh is having the infrastructure, I again feel this thing that this is the best model which can be replicated anywhere.
Absolutely.
And the we personally feel that with all our efforts, we will definitely trying our best and will do better.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chandigarh can be used as a model example for the others to follow. That this is the way it should be implemented, and to deal with this situation. I myself have believed it, right from the very beginning, that Chandigarh is a special place which which others could look up to. But sir, there is one. We also have a very unique administrative structure. Like half of the things are handled by the MC, other half is handled by the UT administration under the Ministry of Home Affairs. But then again, we sometimes get this feedback that on the administration part, especially, the process of decision making is a little bit on the slower side. I'll tell you the reason why. Because most of the officials, like the senior level officials, they come here for 3 years. Tenure maximum, and there are officials like who would like to play it safe, not take very many decisions which could later on come to haunt them, or which could be controversial in a later stage of their career when they are posted out from it. So do you feel is that something which is
I personally feel that like I came here for 3 years. If you see any state government, or we talk of obviously central government is having a stable tenure, because we go as if I am going as joint secretary or director of a certain ministry, we got a time period of around 5 years. And meanwhile, nobody changes you. But in state governments, I have worked in state also, there is no stability of tenure there. So at least when I am coming to Chandigarh, or any officer is coming to Chandigarh, he is having that perspective in mind that yes, for 3 years I am here. And there are a lot of opportunities which can be utilized over here, and which can actually work. I can work as making certain changes in city, or making certain good things in city, and 3 years is a considerably very good stable tenure. So I see it otherwise, because when you are having a stable tenure of 3 years, you are having a performance pressure also. Our services, because normally we come after an experience of 10 to 15 years of serving in our own states. So our services give us an exposure that within 2-3 months we get to know of everything in what is happening where in our departments and other things. So after 3 months, I am actually fully aware of my department. I can take decisions, and Chandigarh actually administrative structure is so linear, and it's the decision making bodies are actually very closely seated, closely knitted also. So it's very easy to take decisions. And if we talk of COVID-19, we all, or otherwise also, Municipal Corporation Chandigarh is part of Chandigarh administration. So we are actually administration, and we are one entity of administration also. So technically we are working with administration only, and we take all our decisions after getting approval from administration. And I never felt this thing that there is any delay in decision making.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but not in your case. Like
Yes.
you are placed in a position where you are, in a way, indirectly answerable to the people. But there are say in the UT administration, the officials, most of the officials are not answerable to anybody.
Yeah, but I will definitely say right now, I can't comment on past or future. Right now, the type of team which we are having, headed by obviously Administrator Sir, Governor Sir,
Yes.
then Advisor Sir Manoj Parida ji, then Home Secretary Arun Gupta Sir, and Finance Secretary Ajoy Kumar Sinha Sir, DC, Commissioner, SSP, DGP and all. We are having such a great rapport with it. there is not a single day when or single moment when I felt that no, this is a good decision, and if I'm conveying it to my bosses, they say no, this is rubbish, send it. So we are actually open-minded. We are working in good proximity as a team, and we are taking very timely decisions. We are revisiting our decisions also in case if we feel that the decision is actually not good, whether we want to rework on it. We are revisiting that also. So I can't comment on past or future, but as of now, we are having the best team available here, and that is the reason that city is actually right now not feeling the pinch of any ill administration.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly is there. Yeah, but I was just generally talking about, say, in the past.
I haven't seen, at least in my tenure. I'm about to complete my 2 years here, but I personally felt that who all officers working in Chandigarh administration also, municipal corporation also, even employees also, as a team we all are working, and somehow there is no any dilemma in taking decision or any dichotomy or any other thing. I don't know.
But then again, one gets the impression that the administration often has a stepmotherly treatment towards the MC when it comes to allocating budgets.
See, municipal corporation is governed by an act. We are governed by an act, Municipal Corporation Act, and in that act there are a lot of revenue earning streams to municipal corporation. In the past, there were no effort made for enhancing those revenue generation mechanism or revenue generation stream. That's why municipal corporation become more dependent on Chandigarh administration, and Chandigarh administration is providing us revenue share in form of grant and aid. So, if we say any stepmotherly treatment, I don't see any reason for that, because in case if Chandigarh municipal corporation is not performing well, or I'm not giving services to public very nicely, I'm not keeping city clean, my sewers are choked, my water supplies are irregular.
That's not happening, of course.
Who are going to be blamed? It's the Chandigarh administration, because Chandigarh Municipal Corporation is one wing of Chandigarh administration, like Education Department, like Health Department, like Chandigarh Housing Board, like any other entity. So, if we see the city as a whole and the city administration in a holistic perspective, I personally feel I never felt any stepmotherly treatment from Chandigarh administration or any of the officer from the Chandigarh. Even they are very pro on our proposals. Whatever proposals we are sending, they are giving it approval, and very quick decisions are being made. That's why in last 2 years at least we were able to enhance our revenue streams, enhance our own efficiency levels, reduced our own expenditures on whatever can be termed as wasteful expenditure or something else. So we are also becoming more and more financially managed body, which one should be, and Chandigarh administration is helping us out like anything. Like when I joined, we were getting 269 crore rupees per annum as grant in it. Next year it became to 375. So jump of 106 crores. Then this year I am getting 425 crore rupees. Along with that, there are certain projects which are directly, actually, we are getting the special grant or special component grant from Chandigarh administration for those projects. So I never felt that there is any stepmotherly treatment, but we have to ensure that we are not wasting money. This is public money, taxpayers' money, and we should optimally utilize it, and try to improve our efficiency, try to improve our transparency, and make sure that public gets best out of our services which we are providing.